Am I seriously 1 XP over the amount I wanted to be? Welcome guys to another episode of Bedwars. It's been a while, so anyways, we're going to be talking about dragons, but we need to get some ground rules down here first, alright? What is and what is not a dragon is very important. It's always important, because a dragon and a drake and a wyvern and a hydra are all different things, alright? They are not the same, they are different, they are unique, they have their own personalities. One likes coffee, one likes tea. Anyway, so, like a wyvern would have 2 wings. It doesn't have arms, really. You could kind of consider its wings arms, but that's like a bat, really, I guess. So it's just an over-glorified bat is what a wyvern is. A drake is just a dragon without wings and without fire. A hydra is just a dragon with multiple heads. There you go. That's the differences, and the dragon has a specific description. You see, a dragon has 4 legs, the front 2 of which means somewhat opposable, so, closer to a gorilla, I guess, for its front arms, but not really there. It's covered in scales, obviously, hard scales. It has a tail, it breathes fire, it has a crown, it's somewhat smart. I got too much stuff because I was too distracted on talking about dragons. Anyways, it also, can fly as wings, right? It's not a wingless creature right here. And there's difference between a Chinese dragon and a regular dragon. Nope. 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 I missed. My aim is just terrible. Nah. Why is this cord bumping up against my table? I wanted to break that bed and I did not succeed at all. Rush to the items before he gets the— oh! My sadness is so great. Ah, it seems purple and yellow have had a clash. Anyways, I think we've gone through the definition of a dragon, right? I don't know if there's anything left to define, but I specifically want to talk about their fire breath, because there's so many different ways to achieve this. I'm gonna be talking about 5 of them, because it's the only 5 I thought of. I'm super lame. One of them is gonna be based off the Bomdar beetle. Yeah, no. Yeah, you should just cross or something. Sounds like a great idea rather than you getting kitted up. Yeah, really worked out for you, didn't it? Void is a good place for you. Anyways, like I was saying, there's 5 types. I'm gonna call them, like, Bombadar, Combust, or Burst. Burst is better. Flamethrower, Sprayer. Wait, that's the same one. Whoops. The Flamethrower, Putrid, and Annihilator. The Annihilator one is my favorite. You're gonna see why. Anyways, we're gonna start off with the Bombadar beetle one, because I think it's, like, the most, natural. It's something that you can actually see in nature. Because, you know, Bombadar beetles are real. They spray acid and it gets really hot. It has, like 2 gland type things in it that when those things combined, it gets really hot. Are we going to go into the science of that? No. Point is, imagine that, but a dragon spraying it out its mouth. That would be pretty painful. Just saying. It would burn you. It's not quite fire, though. Right? But our next one is, but it's the more reasonable, and that's Burst. We're going to be pretty much going from, like, weakest to strongest, although the Bombadar beetle is stronger than this one. That's the Burst. The Burst one, you see, it's going to be using hydrogen and electrodialysis. Is that what it's called? I don't remember. I honestly don't. Point is, that's the process. I'll have, like, the actual word pop up on screen. Wire Island Solo. For separating water into its components, hydrogen and oxygen, through a little bit of electricity. You see, electric eels are able to get that electric charge going, and it's enough to get the hydrogen to be separated. Then you can collect that hydrogen and expend it later and in a fiery charge. The reason we're not going to spray hydrogen gas that's on fire is because it would damage the dragon too much. Oh, he's one of those guys? Oh, he's just the worst. Yellow, you suck. Yellow, you suck. Was it? Wait. I'm an idiot. I was going the right way, and I was going the wrong way, actually. Yeah, we have a core that's bumping paper right now. That's fun. Anyways, point is, we can't just spray hydrogen because it's going to damage the dragon. Alright, we can't do that. So it's doing it in a burst, which is more of going to be a scare method because it's just going to be inefficient to really damage things. If you're that close, you're going to bite. And a dragon is meant to have a really strong bite. It is everything deadly. That's a dragon. That's the point of it. It's supposed to be really scary. It is this thing of death, of destruction. There's nothing meant to stop a dragon. That's the point. So, it's not very effective. It's kind of scary. It could start fires. So that's something. It has a cheaper way because hydrogen burning is just cheaper than the simple electricity to burn things just straight up. It's more efficient, so it could light things on fire, theoretically. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. I'm going to enjoy this fight so much. We're going to just go up here. Yeah, he's having a very good day right now. I promise you, he's having the best time ever. He fell off the map. That's always a good time anyway, so it's not very effective, which brings us into our next dragon type of fire. That is... I forgot immediately. Yes, basically, the next step to this. Trying to actually get into a stream. This one... Okay, I should probably wait a little bit. Anyways, this one is going to be closer probably to what you imagine with a dragon breathing fire. It might be the closest. Yeah, it's going to be the closest. And that is, it's using oil. Oil from, like, animals and stuff. Lots of oils that is then sprayed out and burned, which will look a little bit like a flamethrower. Hey, Smokey, why did the bedwars game stop? Is it because your recording crashed? No. It's because I forgot to explain why this one doesn't burn the dragon, while the other one, the burst one, does burn the dragon. Basically, what I'm gonna say is the first reason is, I kind of forgot that was a consequence of this. And the second reason is, you could also think of it as, it's not burning immediately. It takes time for this oil to burn, and it'd probably be more like an arsonist dragon, like spraying gasoline, but instead it's like animal oils, add its opponent, and then lighting it on fire, usually. It's like a spraying mist of oil, I guess, or something like that. It could be, I'm not entirely sure. But most of this is, it has a thing that can light on fire. Gas, yeah, it lights on fire, but immediately combusts. The liquid takes time to actually become fire because, well, liquids don't exactly immediately become fire. There's like a state in between or something like that, and that's a brief difference. And that brief difference matters a lot for our weapon here, so that's basically the gist, is it being a solid, well, a liquid technically, changes things quite a bit for our dragon and makes it a lot safer for the dragon, and doesn't burn it as much, but I could not see this being a prolonged burning thank you invite, or it would definitely damage our dragon here. Anyways, that's the explanation, is it's a liquid, that's why it's not burning our dragon, and the other reason being, of course, I forgot. So a dragon, right? That's what you imagine. That one can be kind of devastating. It's a ranged weapon, and it hurts. Skunks have ranged weapons. There's a lot of creatures that have ranged weapons, including fish, though they're not ever strong. I don't really know of any ranged weapons from animals besides humans that are strong, and our ranged weapons are extensions of ourselves. They're created. But a self-supplied, self-sustaining, what's the word I'm looking for? Part of you, that would be a new, okay, Bombardar Beetle. I'm an idiot. But one that lights things on fire, that is pretty impressive. It would burn you. That would be really scary. And intimidation works in the animal kingdom. It's not like this thing of, oh, animals don't feel fear. No, they do feel fear. That is a complete myth that animals do not feel fear. Animals can be absolutely terrified of things. And fire is typically really scary. Like, really. It's not something you're going to want to be dealing with. Nope. Pfft. Walk off the map, nerd. Walk off. What was that double hit, man? Alright, we gotta deal with this guy now. Anyways. So yeah, that would be pretty effective. It's using animal oil, like I said, but we still have one that's really sucking, and it's the reason why I call it Putrid Dragon. This one smells bad. Alright? Alright, here you go. Just enjoy your fate. Accept it. Accept your fate. Oh yeah, I did put up a barrier. I was wondering if I did, and I did. So, you know, I'm just really smart. I think ahead. Anyways, this putrid one is going to be collecting sulfur. So it's definitely going to be much harder to get this thing's reserves up, but there's a lot of sulfur in nature, so I'm sure it can find an efficient way to gather sulfur. When it burns, it smells really bad. As Vsauce describes, it's the description of hell. Of what hell smells like is sulfur. That's to say, you don't want to be near this thing. I can imagine it would just store a bunch of sulfur near its nest, immediate ammunition, potentially in its own body, having sulfur ready and then expended at the enemy. It's the combination of a super skunk and an actual weapon, because it can burn things, and that burn lasts for a while. So it's actually a pretty effective weapon, I'd say. Ridiculous to obtain, yeah. Yeah, definitely ridiculous to obtain, but plausible. And that's what we're going for. It's a dragon after all. We just care if it's plausible anyways. So, anyways, that's the Putrid Dragon. You can really see why you would not want to be up against that one. Even if you're not burned by it, you're still going to be nauseous from the smell itself. You won't want to go in a fight with a Putrid Dragon. It has defensive mechanisms and it has aggressive mechanisms. That is a pretty cool combination, I'd say. It wards you off and it gives you a new feeling of fear for that terrible smell. You'll never want to defecate again. Hello, you're dead. What, you think you're gonna kill me? No. Get out of here. That man walked off the map. Anyways, I want to jump to here. Anyway, so that's the Putrid Dragon, but I saved the best one for last. It is my personal favorite, and it is the one, okay, me and my dad talk about dragons sometimes, and it's the one I always bring up, and it is what I'm calling the Annihilator, because it can melt anything, basically. Anything in nature, really. I'm not even joking, by the way. This thing would be powerful. It uses thermite, which I'm pretty sure would be possible, because thermite is, for one part, iron. Okay, that was a simple fight. And like I was saying, it's one part pretty much iron dust, which is pretty common in nature. That can definitely be collected. The other one that's much more difficult, although it's not limited to the one I'm about to say, is aluminum. Now, aluminum is not natural. Alright? You find it in nature, but you won't find pure aluminum anywhere. Alright? It doesn't happen. It was actually so rare that at some point, Napoleon had a set of silverware made of aluminum. This was more valuable than gold. That is to say, aluminum is hard to obtain. It's a long process to get any aluminum. Now, it's a pretty cheap metal, but for a long time, it's been really hard to get. So getting it for a creature to get aluminum is definitely a bit of a big ask. It needs an acid process, so it's a very, very different set of requirements. But if a dragon can get those things, it's a mythical setting anyways. Oh, it's 8? Okay, I'm an idiot. I don't know how late it is. Now I do. So yes, when those are mixed, nothing happens. If you mix aluminum powder and iron together, you don't get anything. It does nothing. You need to activate it, and thermite doesn't activate easily, from what I've heard. It's actually really difficult. So it's going to need another component, a really strong shock, not the simple electric one that we've been going with. That's just not enough anymore. You cannot deliver that while being alive. It's just not good enough. So maybe there's some sort of mercury striker that you can use. No! And he repaired it already. Oh. What has humanity come to? Why is there a paper here? I don't know. Alright, here we go. We can actually break his bed in time. Oh my god, this paper's off my table. Yeah, you can't get to me in time. Not this time. Not happening. So, thermite gets really, really, really hot, right? We know this. Hot enough, as Mythbusters have tested, to melt through a car. Imagine a dragon doing that. It would ruin you. It would demolish any creature. So it would definitely be a limited thing, because getting this would take, I don't know, days, potentially. It's not like getting aluminum is going to be an easy thing, right? It's still aluminum. By the end of the day, it's still aluminum. But, hey, you're up against another dragon. It will melt through the dragon. It would melt through the strongest armor. I can just imagine a description of medieval times. The greatest knight would fall to this dragon, shield, armor, and all. Went through the man, it did. And he was just cinder. He was ash. That was the dragon. That was its wrath. Oh my god, I messed up. Whatever. I haven't thought of any other ways dragons could have firepower, but if you have any ideas, leave them in the comments below. I've thought about having gunpowder, but it just was not working. Where was I? Ah, yes, this is the end of the video where you should subscribe to my channel, where I don't usually talk about stuff that's incredibly nerdy, but I wanted to make a video. You can't judge me. I mean, you can. Just don't. I'll sue you. Not really. Just subscribe. Bye.